Alright, Schlockmeister fans, one of my longtime viewers, commenters, has requested Body Double. Let's check it out.
Hey, get him out of here. Come on.
The movie stars with Craig Wasson as Jake.
That's all right.
He's an actor, and he's a little bit claustrophobic to be playing a vampire in a coffin.
Are you okay, baby? Come on. Come on. It's not anymore, huh?
And when he leaves the set, he comes home to find his girlfriend on top of somebody else. That's Barbara Crampton, by the way.
Vampire's Kiss. I play the vampire.
He's a struggling actor.
Vampire's Kiss. Sounds interesting.
Before that, I did Petruchio and Taming of the Shrew.
5-week gig coming up. Shadow Rep's doing a revival of Private Lives. I've been house sitting for a friend. Gives me a real good deal on the place because he needs somebody to lose.
Would this be available right away?
So this guy Sam gets in this new place to sublet for a little bit while their owner's out of town.
This is unbelievable.
Now, I know it's not much. You think you can handle it? Okay.
He shows them one of the perks of staying here, and that is a neighbor by the name of Gloria, who performs a show every night. He likes what he sees and can't stop watching. I don't blame him. This woman Gloria has some domestic issues also.
Bastard.
Well, it's never going to happen again.
Dennis Franz fires him because of his claustrophobia.
You promised me another chance.
Hey, I lied. Hey, big fucking get out of here. Hey, listen, Joe.
One night he happens to see that this ugly Indian guy is also watching. Well, Jake becomes obsessed with Gloria and turns it up a notch by stalking her. He even watches her trying a pair of undies. And then he notices that he's not the only stalker. That crazy Indian guy he saw is also.
Excuse me. Someone's following you.
I know.
And seconds later, crazy Indian guy steals her purse. He chases him into this tunnel, but then he panics because of his claustrophobia. The guy took something out of her purse. She is ever so grateful. That night he watches again, and this time he sees that Indian guy in the apartment with a gigantic drill. He calls her to warn her.
Yes, look out. He's right behind you. Look out. Oh, my God. Oh, God.
They struggle. He comes after her with the drill. Oops. But eventually our killer succeeds, pushing her down to the ground. Jake broke in, but the dog attacked him. Killer escapes, but how does he explain this to the cops?
You're my only witness to this murder, and you're a peeper. In my book, that's a pervert and a sex offender. I'm not going to hold you, Scully. I got witnesses to back up your story.
So Jake goes home and watches porn, and that's Melanie Griffith as Holly Body.
Holly does Hollywood.
Off to the video store.
Excuse me. Do you have Holly Does Hollywood?
Yeah, we do. It's in our adult section. Follow me.
Well, he gets a job in the porno movie so he can meet Holly. And he meets Frankie Goes to Hollywood, too. Relax. He recognizes the dance she's doing is the dance that Gloria was doing.
Hey, you were great out there.
After the shoot, he poses as a producer.
Jake, I don't even know you.
Hey, I'm talking business.
I do not do animal acts. I do not do S&M or any variations of that particular bent. No water sports either. I will not shave my pussy. No fist fucking, and absolutely no coming in my face.
You know, with
He knows that was her, pretending to be Gloria.
I was watching you from here. You were the girl in the window, right?
I'm gonna be headed back to LA.
So he's realizing he was set up.
We're gonna have to find another place to crash.
That's him.
Got some company there, huh?
Yeah, actually, I do. It's kind of a bad time to talk, Sam.
You now want to tell me what it was?
Yes. The truth. Holly. The truth is a woman was murdered.
Holly, that's not funny. A woman was murdered. Look, you and I were set up by a murderer.
Just this guy.
Jake calls the
Sam
police officer
Richard. And
once he
was
realizes
looking for
that it
somebody
was
who
his
needed
friend
to-
Sam,
And I thought it was a coincidence that we kept running into each other.
or acquaintance Sam.
It's Alexander Ravel.
Sam is really Gloria's husband, Alex.
The Indian to follow Gloria and snatch her purse and steal the card key to her house and then sneak inside.
Holly storms out, and Sam, who had been watching them from the house with binoculars, picks her up, crowbars her. Well, he follows them, and Sam has dragged her to some aqueduct somewhere and is digging a grave for her. He goes and confronts him. They struggle. He rips off the Indian mask, and of course, as we know, it's Sam.
My surprise ending.
Sam gets the upper hand.
I gave you your part. A witness. You were perfect. Played it to a T.
Sam's dog bursts out to try to attack Jake, but at the last second, Jake moves. And that's the last we see of them. Our film ends with Jake having been recast in the role of the vampire.
Freeze! Don't move your hand, Jake. How's it look, Doug? Good. Terrific. Hold that move. All right.
All right, let's talk about Brian De Palma's Body Double. Came out in 1984, I believe. It's a movie I saw on cable back in the day. I had this movie taped on a beta tape with, God, I can't remember the other movie I had on it with it. May have been Escape from Alcatraz. Anyway, Body Double. It's Brian De Palma, like I said. Stars Craig Wasson. You might remember him from Ghost Story, which I reviewed earlier on this channel. He is this actor, but he has claustrophobia. So when he's having this coffin scene where he's playing a vampire, he freaks out and has to leave the scene, and ultimately he ends up getting fired from the job. So he's a struggling actor. He goes for parts and stuff, and he comes home on that awful day and finds his girlfriend, Barbara Crampton, who I think this was her film debut, screwing some other guy. So he has to move out because it's her place. So he runs into this guy, Sam, who he keeps running into at various auditions and things, and they start to talk, and turns out Sam has this, he's been house sitting for this rich guy, and he needs to leave for a while, so he's curious if Jake wants to sublet from him. Of course he does. He needs a place to stay. Basically, it's a free place to stay at this weird-looking house, kind of up on a, looks like a spaceship, actually. It's a real house, actually. It's called the Chemosphere or something like that. And one of the perks while staying there is he can look down into this house using this microscope or a telescope and see this woman dancing. She gets seductive and dances topless and stuff every night. And her name is Gloria. Well, he becomes obsessed with Gloria, starts following around, stalking her. At one point, he notices, though, that this other guy, this Indian-looking guy, Native American, is stalking her, too. And the guy steals her purse at one point, and Jake chases him down. The guy took something out of her purse. Ultimately, we find out later it's a key card to get into the house. Well, that night, Jake is watching again, and that Indian guy breaks in and is starting to kill her. So he runs down and tries to get her, to rescue her. He gets into the house, the dog attacks him, and meanwhile upstairs the killer takes a drill and drills into her body, killing her. And then he has to try to explain to the police, the killer escaped, by the way, how he knew this was all happening. He admits to being a peeper and everything, but his story backs up that he wasn't the killer. So but anyway, then he's watching some porn Melanie Griffith plays Holly Body, a porn actress, and he sees this seductive dance that she's doing in a video. He's like, that's the same dance that Gloria was doing. There's no way that could be the same. Plus, I looked closely. There was a butt tattoo on Melanie Griffith that you could actually see when Gloria was dancing too. So he realizes that wasn't really Gloria doing all this dancing. So he tries to get into the adult film business so he can befriend her, which he does. That's when Frankie Goes to Hollywood shows up. And he poses as a porn producer at one point to try to hire her, and then he gets the whole story from her. She admits that she was dancing. She doesn't know that there was a murder that took place at that place. Ultimately, he figures out that Sam, the guy who was subletting or giving him the house to stay at, is actually Gloria's estranged husband, Alex. He set them up because he knew he would be watching her every night, hired a porn actress to strip, and ultimately he wanted to be seen killing her too, but and then, anyway, but the bottom line is he tells this to the cop, and he explains that Sam is the real killer. And that night he sees Sam kidnap Holly after she leaves his apartment. This sounds really convoluted, I know. He chases her down to this aqueduct. They get into a struggle. The dog comes out and knocks Sam into the water and kills him. Holly is rescued, and the last scene in the movie is Jake on set again. He's got his vampire role back. So there you go. Anyway, Melanie Griffith, Craig Wasson, Dennis Franz is in this. Deborah Shelton plays Gloria. Barbara Crampton, again, I think in her film debut. And of course, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. The real Frankie Goes to Hollywood was in this movie as well. Anyway, that's it. It's kind of a cool movie. It reminds me a little bit of Dressed to Kill, which it should because it's the same damn director. Critics seem to like this one overall, and some good nudity in this movie as well. I remember seeing this when I was a kid, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Yeah, it's a decent film. And I think Melanie Griffith actually steals the show in this one. She only shows up like in 70 minutes into the movie, but I think she was nominated for a Golden Globe, if I'm not mistaken, for this role. And it was really well done. She played the part perfectly. So anyway, that's Body Double by request. So check it out. Let me know what you think about it. Leave some comments down below. I'm pretty sure this is released on Blu-ray by now. And I believe a link to the Blu-ray if you're looking to buy it, and you should buy it. So click the link, watch it, and give me some comments. Bye.